From college scam to sweet romance, how I defrauded the school belle and won her heart. Please subscribe. Episode 51. Lin Wanner's confession. Ding dong. At night, Lu Jiuzhang's cell phone rang. It was sent by Lin Wanner, a beautiful photo with black stockings. Damn it. Really posted? Lu Jiuzhang's blood surged when he saw it. One thing to say, Lin Wanner's figure is really good. She is usually reluctant to wear black stockings. This time, I saw no one in the dormitory. 2 roommates had gone home and another roommate had gone out for dinner. That's why Lin Wanner boldly put on black silk stockings. She bought this black silk stocking before. While having dinner with Lu Jiuzhang, Lin Wanner casually asked if all men like black stockings. Lu Jiuzhang also liked it, so Lin Wanner placed an order for it. I just sent it back today. Seeing that there was no one in the dormitory, Lin Wanner couldn't wait to change into it. It was indeed very beautiful. After Lin Wanner took a photo of Lu Jiuzhang, she stood in front of the mirror and admired it for a moment. No wonder so many girls like to wear black stockings. Ahem. Lu Jiuzhang replied, "How is the quality of this black silk stocking?" Quality? It should be very good, right? Lin Wanner thought for a while and said, "If the quality is good, don't buy it." Lu Jiuzhang said, "These things are disposable consumables. There is no need to buy high-quality ones." Ah. But I feel like I can wear it several times. Lin Wanner was puzzled. "Why do you wear it so many times?" Lu Jiuzhang replied, adding a dog head emoticon. "For boys, the easier it is to tear it apart, the better." Puff. Lin Wanner reacted, "You pervert. Ha ha ha, sex is what it is." Lu Jiuzhang laughed. "Come out and have a look some other time." Lu Jiuzhang said, "I don't feel it just by looking at the photos. I'll go to your villa someday and show you what to wear." Lin Wanner agreed generously. She is very cold towards outsiders. But Lin Wanner was extremely enthusiastic towards Lu Jiuzhang. As long as Lu Jiuzhang's request is not too excessive, Lin Wanner feels that she can satisfy it. Love goes both ways. If the other party is willing to pay, you must also be willing to pay. Just wearing black stockings, it's nothing, just show it to Lu Jiuzhang. And Lin Wanner also thinks black stockings are pretty. The next morning, Lu Jiuzhang began to move his luggage to the villa. Move as soon as possible, otherwise there will be too many things to move tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, which will make people busy. As Lu Jiuzhang's future girlfriend, Lin Wanner naturally wants to help. Early in the morning, she came to the bottom of Lu Jiuzhang's dormitory building. After Lu Jiuzhang had finished cleaning up, the two took a taxi to the villa together. As soon as she entered, Lin Wanner took out the contents of the suitcase and helped Lu Jiuzhang organize them. She is very capable of doing housework and has the air of a good wife and mother. The villa was in a mess because of the previous dinner party. After hiring a part-time worker to clean up, it is now clean, so there is no need to bother anymore. Lu Jiuzhang brought back the usable things from the school dormitory and threw away all the unusable things. "I'm so exhausted." Lin Wanner rubbed her waist and sat on the sofa. "Shall I press it for you?" Lu Jiuzhang said. "Well, okay, but don't touch it, I'm ticklish." Lin Wanner said. "Ha ha ha, don't worry. How can I, a serious person like me, touch randomly?" Lu Jiuzhang sat next to Lin Wanner and held her waist up. It's quite soft, and Lu Jiuzhang thinks it feels good in the hand. Lin Wanner was lying on the sofa, enjoying herself very much. It was almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon and I was very hungry. "Let's go out to eat. It's too hot right now." Lu Jiuzhang made a call and asked the restaurant in the mall to deliver food to his door, and then he and Lin Wanner took care of their stomachs together. "I'm going to the bathroom and you can clean up." Lin Wanner got up, took her bag and went to the bathroom. Lu Jiuzhang tidied up the takeout boxes on the table and threw them into the trash can. Then wiped the table clean. In the corridor, Lin Wanner walked slowly over. Only then did Lu Jiuzhang notice that Lin Wanner was wearing a pair of black silk stockings. "Did you really wear it in person? How's it going? Does it look good?" Lin Wanner walked around in front of Lu Jiuzhang and asked. "Quite good looking." Lu Jiuzhang's eyes widened. Of course, Lu Jiuzhang is not a good-for-nothing like Zhao Chuan. He can make his nose bleed just by looking at the girl's big white legs. Lin Wanner sat next to Lu Jiuzhang. It's just a bit cold. The air conditioner was on in the room, and Lin Wanner felt the chill. Why don't you turn off the air conditioner? Lu Jiuzhang asked. Don't, if you turn it off, it will get hot later. Lin Wanner said. The temperature in the ancient capital is extremely high this summer, and it feels much hotter than in previous years. Please help me warm up. Lin Wanner boldly put her leg on Lu Jiuzhang's lap. Is this okay? Why do you feel like this girl did it on purpose? Lu Jiuzhang was naturally not the kind of honest person, so he directly hugged Lin Wanner tightly into his arms. Lin Wanner lay in Lu Jiuzhang's arms with a shy look on her face. She looked at Lu Jiuzhang with a blushing face and said softly, "Shall we be together?" Lin Wanner is indeed becoming more and more dependent on Lu Jiuzhang. It's not because of how much money Lu Jiuzhang has, but because of the different experience Lu Jiuzhang brought to her. Very early on, before Lu Jiuzhang's identity as a wealthy man was revealed, Lin Wanner had some feelings for Lu Jiuzhang. He is different from other licking dogs, and he can also make himself happy. Lu Jiuzhang was stunned. It was actually Lin Wanner who took the initiative to confess her feelings to her. She was a little flattered. Lu Jiuzhang's original plan was to wait for some time before confessing to Lin Wanner. Because the beauty of Lin University is not only beautiful but also a nice person. Unexpectedly, before she could launch a general attack, Lin Wanner expressed her stance first. What? Don't you want to agree? Lin Wanner asked. No, I'm very happy. Lu Jiuzhang laughed and said, then don't leave tonight and sleep here with me? I want to be beautiful with you. Being together doesn't mean that I will sleep with you. In short, it depends on your performance. Lin Wanner is a bit conservative. Although she has made great changes, she is still a little loose about certain things. Not open. As for Lu Jiuzhang, there was no rush. Anyway, sooner or later, you will be your person. Even if you don't agree now, you will probably agree after a while. There was no need to rush this matter, and Lin Wanner also couldn't let Lin Wanner feel that she was with her just to sleep with her. When two people are together, they must respect each other. At least, in Lu Jiuzhang's opinion, that's the case. A relationship started in college. Even when he was about to graduate from college, Lu Jiuzhang still wanted to get married. All in all, Lu Jiuzhang made a profit. Lin Wanner is a much better girl than Chu Han. Lying in Lu Jiuzhang's arms, Lin Wanner stretched and felt sleepy, so she simply fell asleep in Lu Jiuzhang's arms. Episode 52. Moving out of school. Lin Wanner didn't wake up until 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Seeing Lu Jiuzhang's sleepy eyes, Lin Wanner said, "You should have woken me up just now. I don't know why I fell asleep for so long." Colonel Lin moved his legs as he spoke. Lu Jiuzhang quickly changed his posture, his legs were numb. I saw Lin Wanner sleeping soundly just now, so Lu Jiuzhang didn't disturb her and let her rest peacefully. Only now can you pull away and move around. It's okay. Lu Jiuzhang stood up and limped to the bathroom first. In the evening, the beauty of Lin University also rested in the villa. This time the two slept in the same bed but did nothing. This is very painful for Lu Jiuzhang's little brother. Following Lu Jiuzhang made him suffer. Lu Jiuzhang couldn't sleep well all night. Lin Wanner didn't get a good rest either and kept fooling around all night. It wasn't until 3 or 4 o'clock the next morning that the two of them went to bed. Just like that, around 10 o'clock in the morning, the two of them woke up. Lin Wanner is going home too. Move your luggage home and keep it. As Lin Wanner's official boyfriend, Lu Jiuzhang must help. After returning to Goode University, Lin Wanner went back to the dormitory to pack her things. Guessing that it would take a long time, Lu Jiuzhang simply took a taxi and went to the nearby vehicle management office to take the test. I had made an appointment before, so I took the exam directly this time to avoid any trouble. 45 minutes of answering time, 100 questions. If you do it quickly, you can finish the answer in about 10 minutes. Subject 1 is not very difficult, the main thing is to answer the questions. Just do the test questions a dozen times. As a man, he is extremely sensitive to cars and knows the general traffic rules. After coming out of the vehicle management office, Lu Jiuzhang returned to Goode University. Lin Wanner hadn't packed up yet, so Lu Jiuzhang had to go back to his dormitory. Li Tao and Zhao Chuan were also packing their things, and they were almost done. The dormitory that was originally occupied by 4 people suddenly became empty. Lao Lu is back. I rented a house near the photography shop and lived with Li Tao. Zhao Chuan said, 2 bedrooms and 1 living room. Very good. Lu Jiuzhang nodded. Many college students have just graduated and rent apartments outside, usually in shared apartments. Shared housing is quite chaotic because you can't guarantee the quality of your roommate next door. Most of the shared houses have poor sound insulation, and some people come back in the middle of the night, making the sound very loud. What's more, a young couple is living next door. In the middle of the night, the creaking of the bedboard and even the strange sound disturbed people's dreams. Secondly, there are hygiene issues, as well as various minor issues and constant friction. Like Zhao Chuan, it is quite good to rent a 2-bedroom apartment and then share the rent with Li Tao. I have many rooms in the villa, why don't you just come and stay here? Lu Jiuzhang asked. The villa is too big, and there is only Lu Jiuzhang all year round. It is more than enough for several roommates. Farewell, the beauty of Lin University is always with you. It would be inconvenient for us to go. Zhao Chuan shook his head. There is another deeper reason that Zhao Chuan did not mention. After graduation and living outside, you have to find a girlfriend, right? It's okay for him to live in Lu Jiuzhang's big villa by himself, but it's not good to bring his girlfriend there to live there. Might as well rent an apartment by yourself. The place is a bit small, but it is more comfortable. That's okay, anyway, there will be many opportunities to meet in the future. The renovation of the photography store is almost completed, and it is estimated that it will open in a few days. Lu Jiuzhang said, at that time, we will still be together all day long. Ding. While he was talking, Zhao Chuan's cell phone rang. He looked excited and said, Lao Lu, I'm leaving first. Meng Ran is also moving, so I'll help her carry her luggage. Leaving Lu Jiuzhang and Li Tao behind, Zhao Chuan left the dormitory. After Zhao Chuan left, Lu Jiuzhang asked Li Tao about the current situation of Zhao Chuan and Meng Ran. How do they two get along? Lu Jiuzhang asked. Lu Jiuzhang was worried that Zhao Chuan was being kept as a spare tire. Zhao Chuan did all the dirty and hard work, and Zhao Chuan had to spend money to go out and play. In the end, Zhao Chuan couldn't catch up. This is a bit painful. There are many girls like this nowadays. We are all adults, do you think that other girls don't know your feelings? I didn't intend to be with you in the first place, but I still pretended to be confused and asked you to help me and let me spend money. When you confess, they will say, I'm sorry, you are a good person, but you and her are not suitable. In Lu Jiuzhang's view, clear rejection and sincere love are what people should do in this era. I'm not sure, but I went with Lao Zhao for a walk last night. Moreover, if we rent a house this time, the house she rents is not very far from us. It's about 3 or 4 stops away by subway. By the way, Meng Ran is here. A furniture company. Li Tao said, I feel like Lao Zhao is in trouble. What about you? How are you? Lu Jiuzhang asked. Me? He. Li Tao said with a bad smile, I quite like Bai Xiaorong, but she doesn't seem to have any interest in me. But persistence is the key, maybe I can influence her? I don't recommend that you pursue Bai Xiaorong. If you are rejected or break up, how embarrassing would it be if you don't look up and meet again? Lu Jiuzhang suggested, of course, this is just my suggestion. After all, we are doing things together. Lu Jiuzhang made his words clear in advance, which also allowed Li Tao to think carefully. Just like many companies strictly prohibit office romance. If a male employee and a female employee get together, it is possible that one of them feels that he has been wronged in the company, and both of them leave the company together. Either they break up and one party resigns. This kind of thing is quite troublesome. Let's talk about it then. Li Tao sighed, don't worry, I won't interfere with the operation of our photography shop. Hearing this, Lu Jiuzhang didn't say much more. Everyone has their own opinions, and talking too much can cause resentment. As a friend and the major shareholder of the photography store, Lu Jiuzhang could only talk about the pros and cons. We are all adults and should pay for what we do. No matter what the outcome is in the end, you have to bear it yourself. What if 2 people get together and eventually get married? That's also a great thing. Of course, the probability of this happening is very low, it's just the best hope. Buzz. At this time, Lu Jiuzhang's phone also rang. It was the beauty of Lin University's calling. She had already packed up, and Lu Jiuzhang hurriedly left the dormitory and rushed to the girls' dormitory. Lin Wanner's father originally wanted to pick up Lin Wanner, but Lin Wanner refused. She wanted to cherish every minute and every second with Lu Jiuzhang. Therefore, let Lu Jiuzhang send him back. Lin Wanner's home is in the northern suburbs of the ancient capital. If you take a taxi, it will take about an hour without traffic jams. There were too many things, so Lin Wanner specially said hello to the dormitory manager and asked Lu Jiuzhang to go into the girls' dormitory to help carry the luggage. This was the first time Lu Jiuzhang entered the girls' dormitory. As soon as he entered, Lu Jiuzhang saw. Episode 53. Is your mother at home? Fuck. Lu Jiuzhang saw Lin Wanner's roommate face to face. When this roommate had a party the day before yesterday, Lu Jiuzhang felt that he looked pretty good, not bad. But without makeup, it's really hard to describe. Makeup is indeed one of the four evil arts, and combined with the photos, it is simply invincible. Secondly, the messiness of the girls' dormitory exceeded Lu Jiuzhang's imagination. Lin Wanner's dormitory was okay and relatively clean. But along the way, I saw a few dormitories that were so dirty that a man like Lu Jiuzhang couldn't stand it anymore. Even when walking from the stairs, some dormitories still smell strange. Takeout boxes are placed at the door of the dormitory, and soup is constantly flowing out of the takeout boxes. Living here is hard. Lu Jiuzhang, are you here? Lin Wanner's roommate greeted Lu Jiuzhang. Our college beauty is so lucky to have her boyfriend to help carry her luggage. Unlike me, I can only rely on myself. The roommate sighed and then lay on the bed. It seems that the other party is planning to leave school tomorrow. Tomorrow is the deadline when the dormitories for senior students are to be emptied. Ahem, there's a lot of luggage. Let's make several trips. Lin Wanner coughed twice and said, there are a lot of my books in the suitcase. It's quite heavy. Let's carry it down together first. I'll move it alone. Don't worry, a suitcase won't be a problem for me. Lu Jiuzhang asked, lifting the suitcase with one hand. I'll go, it's so heavy. The next second, Lu Jiuzhang felt tremendous pressure. This book is quite heavy. I originally planned to sell the book, but I asked the scrap collector how much a pound of books costs. Lin Wanner explained, when buying books, a book costs dozens or even hundreds of yuan. When selling, a book can't even be sold for a dime. I'll simply take all the books home and forget it. Lu Jiuzhang couldn't understand Lin Wanner's logic. Anyway, Lu Jiuzhang's book was sold by Zhao Chuan. Books from 4 years of college were sold for 50 or 60 yuan. When I bought these books, I spent thousands of dollars. It's okay, just take it home. Lu Jiuzhang nodded, picked up the suitcase with both hands and walked downstairs. Lin Wanner was carrying another suitcase, which contained her clothes. One suitcase must be full, so I packed some and put them in boxes. There are also computers, cosmetics, and all kinds of things. The campus beauty of Lin University is quite nostalgic and is reluctant to throw away many things. Unlike Lu Jiuzhang, who is careless, feels useless, and waits in the trash can. In this way, after going back and forth several times, Lu Jiuzhang moved all his luggage downstairs to the girls' dormitory. Then I took a taxi and had the car drive to the school. After busy loading their luggage into the car, Lu Jiuzhang and Lin Wanner finally left. 4 years of college are over. When the car was about to leave the gate of Goethe University, Lu Jiuzhang noticed a huge ticket at the gate of the school. On the ticket, the starting point is Goethe University and the end point is the future. Lin Wanner was reluctant to leave and looked back at the school several times. I will only go back to school a handful of times in the future, and I may never go back to school again. Leaning on Lu Jiuzhang's shoulder, Lin Wanner looked out the window. My dad asked me to go home and work at home after graduation, in the restaurant at home. Lin Wanner's restaurant is quite big, and she makes a lot of money in a month. At the same time, Lin Wanner majored in financial management, which was related to accounting and cashiering. Your home restaurant also needs an accountant. Then what do you think? Lu Jiuzhang asked. If Lin Wanner went back to her home to work and was busy all day long, the number of times she could see Lin Wanner would be limited to a handful. Lu Jiuzhang didn't want to do this, But it was Lin Wanner's father's wish after all, and Lu Jiuzhang couldn't say anything. Of course, I don't want to stay at home. Lin Wanner said, I want to be with you. Is your photography shop still short of people? If so, I will do odd jobs and handle the accounts for you. If there is no shortage of people, I will ask an uncle of mine to help. His company is a bit far away from your photography store, but not too far, about 6 or 7 kilometers. This way, I can see you every time it's time to get off work. From the photography shop to the northern suburbs, it is about 20 kilometers. Coupled with the family's control, it would be good to see Lu Jiuzhang once a week. The most important thing is that restaurants are busy all day long and there are few holidays. I don't even have the chance to take time out to play with Lu Jiuzhang. There is no shortage of people in the photography shop. Lu Jiuzhang joked, there is still a shortage of a boss lady. I wonder if the school beauty of Lin University would like to be the boss lady? You are so beautiful. Lin Wanner smiled and said, I'd better go to my uncle's place. Lin Wanner thought about it carefully, and there was no shortage of people in the photography store. Lu Jiuzhang and Bai Xiaorong were in charge of filming, Zhao Chuan was doing odd jobs, and Li Tao was responsible for driving traffic through online short videos. Accounting and reporting are not difficult. Let alone myself, Lu Jiuzhang can do this position, and so can Zhao Chuan and Li Tao. If that doesn't work out, hire an accounting agency, which can take care of all accounting-related business for just 200 to 300 yuan a month. When she comes to the photography store, she just wants to make a living. Others in the photography store may not say anything in the short term, but they may have opinions in the long term. Although Lu Jiuzhang is rich and is a major shareholder, so he can suppress the matter, and even Lu Jiuzhang can pay himself out of his pocket instead of going to the company's account. Is this good? Secondly, distance creates beauty. If two people are tired of being together every day, it is easy for them to have conflicts. At worst, I can work at my uncle's house and rent a house near the photography shop. I can come here after get off work every day and walk around, which is pretty good. It doesn't matter, I respect your opinion. Lu Jiuzhang nodded. Lin Wanner wants to go to her uncle's house to work, so just go, since it's not far away anyway. After the car left Gudu University, it headed north. On the way, we also passed the Belle Tower, one of the landmark buildings of the ancient capital. It's not rush hour right now, so there aren't many cars on the road. The only trouble was the traffic lights, so the taxis kept stopping and going. It was around 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I arrived at Lin Wanner's home. This is a community in the northern suburbs of the ancient capital. The environment inside is not bad, but it is a bit old. I guess it's early to buy a house. My dad's restaurant is not far from the community. Lin Wanner said, probably a few hundred meters away from the community. Because it is an old restaurant, many people choose our house for weddings or funeral banquets. Many people in the community are familiar with my parents and are old customers. Lin Wanner said, we're here. This is my home. It's on the 7th floor. Wait a minute. I'll call my mother first. Is your mother home? For a moment, Lu Jiuzhang was a little nervous. Are you meeting your parents before you are ready? But Lu Jiuzhang didn't bring any gifts. Is it a little too fast? Episode 54. Future father-in-law. Ha ha ha, don't worry, my mother is easy to talk to. Lin Wanner smiled. I have told my mother in advance that I have found a classmate to help me carry my luggage. Don't be angry. The reason why I didn't mention my boyfriend is because I was embarrassed to say it in front of my mother. But my mother is such a smart person, she should be able to guess it. I'm sorry, after all, we've only been together for a day. When she said on the phone that a friend wanted to send her back, Lin Wanner's face turned red. Afterward, Lin Wanner thought about it and realized that her little cleverness was not enough in front of her mother. It is estimated that her mother has already guessed Lu Jiuzhang's identity. By the time Lu Jiuzhang returned to the villa, it was almost 9 o'clock in the evening. The wind was blowing along the way, and Lu Jiuzhang was mostly awake from his wine. I had a video chat with Lin Wanner, and the two of them got tired of it for more than an hour before hanging up the phone. Young couples who have just gotten together are like this, and they don't feel bored even if they are together all day long. They chatted all over the world, they discussed the future, and fantasized about the future. At that time, it was true that I loved you, and it was true that I wanted to be with you forever. But how the relationship between the two develops in the future depends on the two of them. No matter how loving a couple is, no matter how tired they are of being together, they will all become dull. One student has finished practicing, and now it's time for Lu Jiuzhang to get on the bus. Fastening his seatbelt, Lu Jiuzhang stepped on the clutch, shifted into first gear, and released the handbrake. Gently release the clutch, the car slowly drives out of the parking space, then turns the steering wheel to the left. All actions are done in one go. Why are you driving so fast? The coach came over and scolded, you got into the bank this time. What if you can't get in during the exam? Is it fast? Lu Jiuzhang felt that his speed was already very slow. When pressing the clutch, the pressure is very low and the speed is very smooth. Slow down when you turn right to the library later, the coach scolded. Lu Jiuzhang had no choice but to lower the clutch. I saw that after the rear wheels of the car came out of the warehouse, the steering wheel was turned to the right and loosened a little. Suddenly, the car stopped. If the speed is too slow and the steering wheel is locked, it can easily cause stalling or even parking. I don't know, you can't park in subject 2? 5 points will be deducted for 1 parking. You can deduct these points casually? What should you do, Banpo? Banpo will deduct 10 or 20 points if you don't pay attention. The coach scolded again. Good guy, no matter how it is done, the other party will not only reprimand him, but Lu Jiuzhang will still feel angry in his heart. 20 minutes later, Lu Jiuzhang got out of the car, and a girl got on. The coach deliberately said in front of the girl, practice hard. I think you can do it. You are much better than that person just now. Really? Coach? The girl was very excited. As a result, the engine stalled as soon as I got in the car. Is this a deliberate attack on Lu Jiuzhang to increase the girl's confidence? This is too disgusting. Lu Jiuzhang walked aside, and the male student he was chatting with just now came over again. You didn't buy cigarettes for the coach this morning, right? Look at him yelling at you over there. The better you drive, the unhappy he will be, because if you practice well, he has nothing to teach you. If you practice poorly, you have to beg others, you have to ask for advice, you have to please, and you have to buy cigarettes. You practiced so well. You learned it after coming here for a day or two, and then left. Who will buy his cigarettes? Is that so? Lu Jiuzhang walked to the nearby canteen and bought a pack of cigarettes. The price of soft china is 70 renminbi per pack, which is expensive here, 75 renminbi. Lu Jiuzhang went to find the coach with a cigarette. Before he even walked to the coach smiled and said, practice hard. If you know how to drive, it shouldn't be too difficult to take the second test. Lu Jiuzhang handed the cigarette to the coach, yes. Well, go ahead and I'll talk to you later. The coach laughed. After giving him a pack of cigarettes, the coach's attitude changed drastically. The scolding was so loud just now, just for a pack of cigarettes. Lu Jiuzhang couldn't help but feel a little sad. Since he is a coach, he also has some responsibilities as a teacher. People who don't teach students well and think about extra money all day are not bad, and they can't do great evil, but they are definitely villains. Later, the coach's attitude really improved. Until noon, Lu Jiuzhang planned to go home. When passing by the canteen, Lu Jiuzhang glanced inside and found that the coach was also inside. Old rules, give you the cigarette and give me the money. The coach said, just send me a WeChat message. A pack of Chinese cigarettes costs 75 yuan here. After giving it to the coach took it back to the canteen. The canteen took away the cigarettes, gave the coach a profit of 60 yuan, and then put the cigarettes back on the shelves. One after another, the coach made money, the canteen made money, and the students were cheated. Episode 58. Within the rules. What a good business. No wonder Lu Jiuzhang kept hinting to buy him cigarettes when he was practicing driving in the morning. Now if you sell it, you will get the money. For Lu Jiuzhang, a few dozen yuan is like a drop in the bucket compared to all his assets. But I feel a little unhappy after being cheated. Those college students who come to practice driving have limited living expenses. I also have to use the little living expenses left to buy good cigarettes for the coach. Ahem. Seeing Lu Jiuzhang passing by, the coach coughed twice. Xiao Lu, are you ready to go home now? Well, if I hadn't gone home, I wouldn't have discovered this weird thing. Lu Jiuzhang said slowly. How do you say this word? Ask the post-00 generation to rectify the workplace. It is more accurate to say that it is not the post-00 generation that is rectifying the workplace, but the post-00 generation that is correcting the chaos in the workplace. Overtime work is not paid, and the boss often resorts to various tricks to make the interns who were born after 2000 take the blame. Why not pay 5 insurances and 1 housing fund, and let employees generate electricity for love? The education received by the post-00s generation is different from that of the post-80s and post-90s generations. The generation born in the 1980s and 1990s has a large population base and is extremely involution. After 2000, the population has correspondingly declined. The education they have received since childhood, including the ideas they have received, is 3 things: fairness, fairness. It's still so damn fair. What's tricky? The coach was a little flustered. What's tricky? Did you see it wrong? Is this what a coach should do? Lu Jiuzhang asked, suggesting that students buy you cigarettes and then return the cigarettes to the canteen owner. Young man, you can eat randomly, but you can't talk nonsense. The canteen owner was a middle-aged woman. After hearing what Lu Jiuzhang said, she argued. Her voice was thick and she looked menacing, making her look like a shrew. Faced with this situation, most people will feel that one more thing is worse than one less thing. Even if they suffer a loss, they feel that it will be over soon. But Lu Jiuzhang is different. What does it mean to do less than to do more? The more you give in, the more the other party will push forward. Sometimes, cowardice is the original sin. Because you are easy to bully, people come to bully you. And when you stand up and adhere to the mentality of killing whoever messes with you, those people will be afraid. Oh. You jumped out too? Lu Jiuzhang looked at the canteen owner. You have violated relevant laws by selling goods at a high price. The price law stipulates that the sales prices of operators should follow the principles of fairness, legality, and good faith, and provide consumers with reasonably priced goods and services. Goods must not be sold at an additional price in addition to the marked price, and any unpaid fees must not be charged. The stated fee. The prices of most commodities are fixed, and any unauthorized price increase will result in penalties. Lu Jiuzhang remembered seeing news a few days ago that a convenience store in Shanghai was selling noodles. The original price of a pack of noodles was 7.5 yuan, but the convenience store secretly added 0.5 yuan to the product and sold it for 8 yuan a pack. The convenience store sold a total of 48 packages of noodles, with a total sales amount of 384 renminbi, and a total of 24 renminbi in addition to the listed price. Finally, the convenience store was fined 3,500 yuan by the Market Supervision Bureau. The profit was only 24 yuan, and the fine was 3,500 yuan. The gain outweighed the loss. But since the convenience store dares to break the law, it must be prepared to be punished. Are you talking to me about the law? Come on, tell me how to write the law, the landlady cursed. Which of the rent, water, and electricity here is free of charge? Will you give this money to me? This is so unreasonable. The driving range is very remote and there are not many convenience stores around, just this one. Those who can open a convenience store here are relatives of the driving school owner. Since they are relatives, who pay the high rent? Secondly, even if the rent is high, if so many things are sold, how much profit can be made? In the final analysis, it is greed. It's useless to talk to me so much. You can talk to the people at the Market Supervision and Administration Bureau. Lu Jiuzhang said, as for coaching you, it is also illegal. Article 43 of the Regulations on the Management of Motor Vehicle Driver Training stipulates that staff of road transport management agencies shall conduct supervision and inspections in strict accordance with their duties, powers, and procedures, and shall not abuse their powers, engage in malpractice for personal gain, arbitrarily charge fees or fines, or hinder training. The normal working order of the organization. The purpose of saying this is not that Lu Jiuzhang is knowledgeable, but to tell everyone that they must adopt reasonable methods to protect their rights and interests. It's so courageous to make trouble in front of the law. Even if the driving school boss comes, Lu Jiuzhang is right. Driving school owners don't dare to make a big deal out of this kind of thing. If it happens, the Transportation Bureau will come over and fine the driver, or in serious cases order the driving school to close down for rectification. So this kind of thing only exists in the shadows and cannot be put on the bright side. Under normal circumstances, If the driving school owner knows that the coach accepts gifts, he will order the coach to suspend his duties for some time. If students are afraid of being targeted when they learn to drive later, that's okay. You can just ask the driving school to change their instructor. Knowing that you can cause trouble, other coaches don't dare to make things difficult for you. On the contrary, he has to teach you well. Once something goes wrong, he is afraid that you will cause trouble for him. These days, babies who cry are fed milk. To put it another way, even if you can't stay at this driving school anymore, you can still ask the driving school for a refund and then change to another driving school. There are so many driving schools in the ancient capital. If you don't accept them here, other driving schools will, so you can rest assured. The less troublesome you are, the more troublesome you are, and the more cautious the driving school is. Things are different now. If the driving school dares to hit someone, it would be better to save the evidence and make Dwayne. After becoming popular in the city, the driving school started to panic. He is eager to compensate you and ask you to delete the video quickly. The internet is a double-edged sword. If you use it well, you can protect your interests. Depend on. The coach collapsed. Why did this man named Lu keep talking about the law? Did you major in law when you were in college? The shrew boss lady also lost her temper. No matter how troublesome you are, do you still dare to make trouble in front of breaking the law? People from the Market Supervision and Administration Bureau are here, but no matter how aggressive and unreasonable you are, people enforce the law strictly, and the more trouble you make, the more annoying they will be, and maybe the bigger the fine will be. It's somewhat relevant. Lu Jiuzhang nodded. In his last life, he studied law. But I didn't engage in law-related work after graduation. After traveling to this world, the original owner of this body studied financial management, which also involved a lot of legal knowledge. Similar to contract law, tax law, labor law. Damn, it's the law. There is nothing the driving school instructor can do. I heard that a driving school was reported some time ago, and the content of the report was that the instructor received gifts. The student who reported it is only 18 years old and born in 2000. When I was practicing driving, I was smiling. If I was asked to buy cigarettes, I would buy cigarettes, and if I was asked to buy water, I would buy water. When he got his driver's license, he turned around and reported it to the driving school. Episode 59. Young people know how to play 1-5. Don't worry, I won't do it again. The driving school instructor sighed. I will also restore prices. The store proprietress said, don't worry, we won't trick anyone in the future, and we won't trick the driving school students. It's useless to tell me, just go and get the punishment yourself. Lu Jiuzhang said, if you do something wrong, you have to admit it. The punishment will be whatever you deserve. There is no point in admitting your mistake to me. However, if I knew that you still refused to repent, or that you took this opportunity to hide away, I would not make it easy for you. If you want to cause trouble for me, such as asking gangsters to beat me up, you are welcome to do so. My monthly income is not low, far beyond your imagination. Just the lost wages and mental damages add up. Work hard for the rest of your life and pay me. I'm not afraid that you will cause trouble, but I'm afraid that you won't be able to pay. Lu Jiuzhang smiled and walked outside the driving school. Damn, what the hell? The driving school instructor slammed his hammer on the table, talking to me about the law, bullying me doesn't understand me. The instructor's force was so strong that the originally iron tabletop instantly dented into a pit. Are you so fucking crazy? If you're angry, hit yourself. Why are you hitting my table? The landlady said angrily. I just got a legal beating. Originally, with my shrewish personality, no matter how reasonable a person was, there was nothing she could do. But they still won't reason with you and talk to you about the law. Most people, even shrews, would not dare to mess around in the face of the law. What if someone is just crazy and reports it to the Market Supervision and Administration Bureau? I don't care. If the Market Supervision Bureau finds me, you will have to pay some compensation for me. Just consider it as compensation for the table. The proprietress of the canteen said angrily. Damn it, your table is of poor quality, what does that have to do with me? The coach was unconvinced. How powerful can my punch be? If you don't go to the table seller, why are you looking for me? I don't care, I'm relying on you. If you dare to go out here today, I will go to your house to find your mother-in-law tomorrow. The proprietress of the canteen cursed. After leaving the driving school, Lu Jiuzhang took a taxi and went to the photography shop. Lin Warner was standing in front of the photography store at this time. The weather was hot, so she held a sun umbrella. Despite this, he was still sweating profusely, and his short sleeves were soaked with sweat and stuck to his back. Seeing Lu Jiuzhang coming, Lin Warner jumped over and ran over. Lu Jiuzhang, are you here? Why don't you find a place to rest? It's such a hot day. Lu Jiuzhang took out toilet paper from his pocket and wiped the sweat from Lin Warner's forehead. You're sweating on your back too, why don't you go to my villa and I can wipe it for you? Lu Jiuzhang asked. If you want to be beautiful to you, you will take advantage of me every day. Lin Warner rolled her eyes at Lu Jiuzhang. Let's get down to business, I discussed it with my dad, and my dad also agreed to let me work in my uncle's company. It's just about renting a house, but my mom doesn't agree. Why don't you agree? You're such an old man, how can you still be worried? Lu Jiuzhang asked. Why do you think you are? Aren't you worried about you, a big pervert? Lin Warner said coquettishly. I tried hard to convince my mother to agree, but she asked me for the room key, and she might come to attack me from time to time. Also, my mother said that when she makes a video call to me in the future, I must answer it immediately. Mother Lin was afraid that Lin Warner would suffer. This was a normal reaction for every parent, but there was nothing to say. It's nothing to get the keys, and it's nothing to watch. Should I take advantage or not at all? Well, this mainly depends on the character of the boyfriend. For example, Lu Jiuzhang said solemnly, Lin University Beauty, what do you think? What kind of person am I? Lin Warner stared at Lu Jiuzhang for a moment, then nodded heavily, you are. Okay, if you say I'm not a serious person, then I'm not serious, so I'll trick you into coming to my villa tonight. Lu Jiuzhang said with a wicked smile. Don't make trouble, let's get down to business. Lin Warner said, rent a house for me, just near here. Okay. Lu Jiuzhang nodded. Just kidding, you have to do business when it's time to do business. Lu Jiuzhang went into the photography store and took a look. I have been working overtime during this period, and the photography shop will be decorated soon. Later, Lu Jiuzhang called Sister Chen. Isn't she a rich woman? Several buildings in the commercial street belong to her. Since you are renting a house, just rent it directly from Sister Chen. At least they are half acquaintances, and they know everything about them. Sister Chen's character is not bad either, so Lu Jiuzhang can rest assured. Of course, she must not say that she wanted Lu Jiuzhang to be her little nanny. Lu Jiuzhang was worried that Lin Warner would be angry if she found out. At that time, Lu Jiuzhang did not agree and sternly refused. Buzz. The phone was connected, and Sister Chen's voice sounded on the other end. Brother, have you thought about it? I didn't expect you to be so rich and agree to my conditions. This sentence shocked Lu Jiuzhang. Fortunately, modern mobile phones have anti-eavesdropping functions. As long as you don't click speakerphone, only Lu Jiuzhang can hear the voice on the phone. Sister Chen, please stop joking. I want to rent a house, so I thought of you. Just in time, I don't need to find an agency. Lu Jiuzhang said. Renting? Are you kidding me? Sister Chen was puzzled. You live in such a big villa and you still want to rent a house from me? You think you have enough money to spend, right? How about I raise the rent of the photography shop back? It's a shame that I thought you were a poor student, so I gave you a rent reduction or exemption. People's hearts are at odds with each other, brother. Lu Jiuzhang knew that Sister Chen was joking. The rental contract for the house has been signed, and it is impossible to increase the rent now. Unless the lease term is up, it will increase again. But Lu Jiuzhang knew that Sister Chen was not such a stingy person. Okay, I'll come over now. Sister Chen hurriedly hung up the phone and rushed over. Her beauty salon and foot bath shop are also on this street, not too far apart. A few minutes later, Sister Chen walked up to Lu Jiuzhang and Lin Warner. Sister Chen. Lin Warner smiled and said hello. You're welcome, little beauty. Let's go to the property upstairs first. It's too hot down there. Sister Chen took the two of them to the property office on the 5th floor. There is air conditioning inside, which makes it cool instantly. Sister Chen personally poured a glass of water for Lu Jiuzhang and Lin Warner, and then said, how much area do you want to rent? Sister Chen, do you have a one-bedroom apartment for rent? Lin Warner asked. One bedroom? Sister Chen glanced at Lu Jiuzhang. Today's young people are becoming more and more confused. They are good at playing, and they insist on renting a house instead of living in a nice villa. You said that since you are so rich, you can rent a bigger one, but you rent a one-bedroom apartment. Sister Chen, you don't have to look at me. Wanner wants to rent a house by herself. Lu Jiuzhang explained. Oh. Sister Chen nodded, still not understanding. There are no more one-bedroom apartments, but there are still two-bedroom apartments for rent, with 2 bedrooms, a living room, a kitchen, and a bathroom. The monthly rent is 2,700 yuan. Episode 60 The First Intimate Contact, 2-5. 2,700 yuan, to be honest, was a bit beyond Lin Wanner's expectations. The salary after graduating from the financial management major is not high. Even if you get the top CPA certificate, your annual salary will only start at 200,000 yuan. What's more, there are more and more certified public accountants now. Even if you get this certificate, your salary is not that much. Moreover, this certificate is not easy to pass. You need to take 6 subjects within 5 years after graduation. In other words, if you have just graduated from college, you generally cannot get this certificate. College graduates generally only have a junior certificate in accounting. The intermediate accounting certificate also requires 3 or 4 years of graduation and 3 or 4 years of work experience before you can take the exam. Senior accounting certificate requires you to work for several years after obtaining the intermediate accounting certificate before you are eligible to apply. Even if everything goes smoothly and you must pass every exam, you will still have to be in your 30s to obtain an advanced accounting certificate. I obtained my CPA certificate when I was around 27 or 28 years old. In the ancient capital, the monthly salary of a freshly graduated accounting major might be 3,000 to 4,000 yuan. More than half of a month's salary is used to pay rent, and the remaining money is not enough to live on. Lin Wanner was a little embarrassed. Sister Chen, please lower it a little. Lu Jiuzhang said proactively. Hey, you're so rich and you still. When Sister Chen was about to say something, she saw Lu Jiuzhang winking at her, so she immediately changed the subject. We are all old acquaintances, so it's okay to drop a little. Okay, 2,000 yuan a month, what do you think? In the commercial street, the monthly rent for a 2-bedroom house is 2,000 yuan, which is already very low. But there is still a gap between Lin Wanner's expected rent. After all, Lin Wanner wanted to rent a 1-bedroom apartment, and the rent should be controlled to 1,500. Let's do this. Since you are my brother's girlfriend, I will give you a lower price, maybe 1,500 a month. Sister Chen said. This house will be a loss if rented out. If you lose 1,000 and 2,000 a month, you will lose more than 14,000 a year. But this little money is of course nothing to Sister Chen. Thank you, Sister Chen. Lin Wanner nodded happily. As for the condition of the rented house, neither of them went to see it. The one chosen by Sister Chen must be reliable, so there is no need to bother with it. Okay, there's no point in thanking me. You two can just live your own lives. Sister Chen didn't take it seriously. Since 1,500 has been decided, let's sign the contract now. Sister Chen asked the property management company to bring a contract for Lin Wanner to sign. I picked up my phone, took a look at it, and found several messages from Lu Jiuzhang. Sister, my girlfriend wants to be independent, she doesn't want to rely on me. So this time she plans to rent a house with her own money. As for your cheap rent, I will compensate you. Seeing this, Sister Chen finally understood. Today's young people. If you are still talking about being independent, what is there to be independent about? Just graduated, don't you rely on your parents? If you want to be independent, try spending $300 to live outside for a week first. No need, sister is not short of this money either. Sister Chen was very generous and replied to a WeChat message, rejecting Lu Jiuzhang's compensation proposal. You live in a big villa, so naturally you don't lack the money. But I just don't understand, why do you young people have so many things? If you think you're right, you'll live together. If you can't get along and break up, you'll move out. Isn't that what young people do now? Sister Chen, I am rushing to get married. Lu Jiuzhang explained. Are you rushing to get married? It's funny to me. Such people are rarer than giant pandas now. Apply another day and you can become a national treasure. Sister Chen joked. But what she said is right. In this world, people break up as quickly as they get together. People who have been together for many years are very rare. Even if people get married, the divorce rate remains high. Lin Weiner signed the contract, and then Sister Chen also signed her name. The house is in room 2705, in this building. Before leaving, Sister Chen added, "If you get married, let me know and I will give you a big red envelope." After saying that, Sister Chen walked out of the property office with a smile. It seemed that she was still very optimistic about Lu Jiuzhang and Lin Weiner. However, Lin Weiner didn't know about the private chat between the two on WeChat just now. Lin Weiner looked at Lu Jiuzhang beside her with confusion. Why did Sister Chen say this? What? Don't you want to marry me? Lu Jiuzhang asked. Of course not, I'm just curious. Lin Weiner said. It's nothing. Sister Chen has a lot of money and wants to make some contribution to our married life. Lu Jiuzhang took Lin Weiner's hand and took the elevator upstairs. High floors have the advantages of high floors. For example, when you go to work every morning, you press the elevator and go straight in. Unlike the middle floors, the elevator is always full of people every time it comes out. Had to wait half a day for a vacant spot. You can climb stairs on the lower floors and take the elevator on the upper floors, leaving people on the middle floors in trouble. It's not rush hour right now, so there aren't many people in the elevator. After pressing the elevator button, Lu Jiuzhang and Lin Weiner arrived on the 27th floor. Finding room 2705, the two opened the door and entered. The house is quite neat, with good lighting and some simple furniture. You can live with just your bags. But before moving in, there is one more thing to do: tidy up the house. 2 bedrooms and 1 living room, about 70 square feet. It would be quite troublesome to clean up by yourself. Lu Jiuzhang subconsciously wanted to find a part-time worker, but Lin Weiner refused. We should do it ourselves.